What's up, everyone? TA Sam here. Video 8, the references video. This is the final video in the 8-part Microsoft Word introduction, and I applaud you all for sticking with it and really getting something here that you can use. And unfortunately, I know it doesn't seem like a lot, that references should be a lot, but it actually is a lot, and I just don't have time to explain a lot of what's going on. So if you're confused on any of it, leave a comment. Come talk to me in office hours. Watch it twice. I would definitely encourage you to do that. And a lot of this, I can tell you why, because I've done it before and I know why it's not working, but I just don't have time to explain it. So first of all, for references, when you're actually referencing something in most engineering formats, like chemical engineers will use ACS throughout their time here. Whatever you're using, most of the time you're going to use a superscript. So this, Greenberg 2000, whatever you're doing, that's usually for like English papers or social sciences, like history classes. We're not really using that here, so this is pretty much out the door. You don't have to worry about it. You're going to use, this number here. If you are doing the previous one, you can go over references, and there's a pretty big built-in one you can explore in your own time. It's pretty self-intuitive, but we're going to be sticking with the superscripts. Second thing is, we'll do it just to get it over with. Your formatting, again, we talked about we want to do a hanging cliff. We talked about it previously in a video. You can go over the line spacing options, and then just go to special first line or special hanging, and then there you go. You get a nice hanging thing in there. We talked about in a previous video. If you're confused on any of that, go back and rewatch it. We don't have time for that today, though. On to the good stuff. So now when you're actually numbering these throughout in the order, previously you've probably been doing alphabetical order. However, now it's the order they appear in the text. And so we won't come back and reorder these till later. So I'm going to start off. We're going to do a label on one of our figures, and we're going to do a label in the text here. I'm going to start off with the figure label just because we're going to come back to this one and renumber it. So here you go. Just to start off the bat, you're going to have to start a new line. So even if we're taking this from source number, we'll take this from our Greenberg source, which is the second one we have listed down there. Or I guess the first one, excuse me. So this would be like source 1 if you were just to do a raw. We're going to make a new line. Don't question why, just do it. Make a new line, maybe even a second one, make it normal. And then you're going to you're going to go to references, insert a caption, and make the reference one if you haven't. Again, watch previous videos if this is confusing you. You can, make the new label over here, reference, exclude the label from the caption, make sure that's on, and then insert. And it looks ugly. Let's make it normal. And then the second thing we're going to do is let's make it superscript. And before we do anything else, I don't know if you remember previously we talked about splitting the screens, and it's useful in some cases. This is where it's useful. So split your screen, scroll on down to the references down below so you can see. Make a fake reference, whatever you want to do. And then we'll put a space in just to make it easy. And then we'll go to references, cross-reference, label and number, insert. And it looks good, but that's just because this is all on its own. The long story short is that we couldn't do it here because it's going to throw off what we're about to do, because this is already a reference to a caption. So that's the reason why I had to put it in this new page. Long story short, so we have that in there. And now we can move this back in, so we can delete this back out. And here's what you're going to watch happen. So we have it there, looks all good. We're going to update our field, so you press Ctrl A, F9, update everything, and it looks good. Now there's going to be a case where it doesn't work out so well, and that is going to be in here. And actually I meant to put that reference here, so I'm just going to cut it like that. So we're referencing Greenberg in here, and so let's say that's going to be our next source. So we're going to do insert, caption, reference. It's going to be reference 1 because it's the first one that appears. Exclude label from the caption. Looks good. Looks kind of ugly. We'll go back to normal. Get this guy superscripted. You can make a format for it if you want, up to you, or style, excuse me. And then we'll insert that reference here. So you go references, cross-reference. Here we go, referencing label and the number. We can't get that isolated. Now, one solution would be you could start a new paragraph every time you want to do it. That's not going to be a long-term solution just because you're moving text around. I'll let you figure that out on your own. I'm just going to show you how to fix it. So we don't like that, but we have it in there. So then how we're going to get around this, let's actually put a space in there too while we're at it, is you're going to highlight just the reference. So that's just the caption we put in, just the reference. And then you're going to go over to insert. I don't know why this feature isn't in the reference tab. It's just not. Then go over to links, and you're going to insert a bookmark. And again, I can't tell you what a bookmark is. I don't know what it does. I just can tell you that it works. And I think your default for this is going to be name and then hidden bookmarks off. So I'm actually going to close this out to get what you're probably going to be looking at. So it's going to look at like this. You want to turn on location and turn on hidden bookmarks. Nothing's going to be highlighted, so close out this window. But when you have those selected in the future, when you do that, it's going to look like this. There's going to be one highlighted. It's going to be a reference. Don't worry about it. Don't click anything. I repeat, do not click anything. Just hit add without changing it. Just hit add. Just do it. Because Greenberg said so. Cite me on it. I don't care. And actually, very long story short, I'm going to just show you something. The long story short of why we had to do what we did with the caption is because we can see this is the reference of what we were, that was the object we created. The caption is treated as a TOC, and it just throws everything off. That's the very long story short. Don't worry about it. But once we have our bookmark in, and we have it in here, you can hit Control A, F9, update everything, update everything, update everything, and it's fixed, and everything's renumbered. So again, I don't have time to explain it, just do it. And just to show you this works, I'll put in another third reference. Where should we put it? I don't know. I'll put it below, why not? Unknown knows why it works. I don't know who knows, they just know. So we want to reference that. Again, same process. So this is where you can follow along. You've seen it. Follow along with me. Doing what we've done. References. Insert caption. Your reference. Just do it. Don't worry about the numbering. Make it normal. Superscript that so it's all set to go. Now before you bookmark it, and this is a crucial step. This is a crucial step. I can't repeat it enough. Go down to your references and make that reference. So we're going to go back down. So this is why you split your screen. You're going to go to links, cross-reference. And you can also go to references tab. It works either way. It's also in there. We're referencing that one. Label number in there. Close it out. Go back up to your reference and create a bookmark. So it's insert, links, bookmark. Don't touch anything. Just hit add. Control A, highlight everything. It's not going to show in here. That's just the way it is. It is highlighted. Don't worry about it. F9. And then let's see if we actually have to click everything. It's just going to do it on It's just going to do it on its own. And then there you go. Update it in the order it appears in the text. Look at that. And then you can just go through and cut. And there you go. Your references are done. It'll be a little janky the first couple times. Once you get the feel for it, it'll be natural. And then if you want to reference, let's say we want to reference that 3 again in here. So let's say I want to reference Greenberg again. Greenberg did know how to reference. I'm not going to worry about the spelling. I can either do the links and then cross-reference to that and go through that whole ordeal again. Don't do that. That's a waste of time. All you need to do is go up to where you did it at first. Just copy that citation. Just copy it. And then just put it in there. And then just to show you it works, we'll highlight everything. F9. Update. Doesn't matter. Oh, let's see. We copied the wrong thing, I think. Yeah, sorry. Don't copy the one up there. Otherwise, I'll keep updating. Instead, copy the one down here. Control A, F9, just go through, and then there you go. See, it stays 1. So copy it down from your references once you put it in. It'll update. So basically, long story short, you're creating your initial reference when you first put it in. So make sure you're citing this the first time you use it. So you might use the same source multiple times. Just do it on its earliest occurrence. And let's say in the second, this is going to be, I know it's going to be hard to understand, but let's say your second occurrence, you're referencing it twice, and then you want to move things around. So it was originally your second occurrence is now the first, which basically means that where your reference initially was is now later in the text, you can just cut that initial reference, just know where your initial reference was, and then put it at the earliest time you cite it. So, for example, here, I had Greenberg said so is originally the first reference. Let's say I was doing it, I was going to rearrange it down, so now it's down here. If I was to Control A and F9 everything, you're going to see it's going to change to now 3. Oops, I didn't mean to do that early. I didn't mean to do this though. And then you were going to change this here, so it's still the first source that comes up because they're both coming from that same document. And as to F9 everything, you're going to see that now it's going to look like the third source, even though it's the first source. And so what I can do is I can then cut this here, put it here, cut this one here, put it here, Control A, F9, update entire table, update entire table, update entire table, and you're good to go. So you can just move it around. And that concludes pretty much everything I wanted to teach you very quickly in my last couple minutes. I'm just going to show you, we're going to create the final documents. We're just going to clean out everything we had here. So I'm going to save. You remove the split. We're going to take our references out, but I do want it still to be hanging. I think we have everything out. We're going to just, we can keep the raw. Well, actually, we're just going to remove the Appendix A. No. We'll put the references back in here, insert caption, Appendix A. We'll just keep it at that for now. We can always come back and change it. Main header. So we have an appendix built in. We have references built in. We're going to clear out the main body. We don't need these in. We can just put them back whenever we want, for whatever we want. We're going to keep the main body in. Table of tables, table of figures, table of contents, abstract. I actually want this to be an executive summary. Let me just make sure I spelled that all right. Put it back to normal. Yep, looks good. And we have a title page. I'm just going to leave this Dr. Last. And then let's save it. Let's take a zoom out, make sure it all looks good. Everything's taken out, and then we can just Control A, F9. And everything's out. And it'll update automatically. And you can put in your introduction, experimental methods, whatever you want, and we'll save it as of style. File save as, I had already saved it as Word 8. Let's change it to a .x, and I'm going to call it template for report. And just so you all know, like I wasn't just teaching, like I'm actually going to use this. I like the title page more. I've been doing a previous thing. I can, just show you real fast what I had been using. And this is what I've been using to turn in like, references and everything for a while. But I like what we just did a little more. Yeah, I don't care about this one. And now I have so now whenever you want to create a new report, so this could be for your project, it could be for chemistry lab, for your physics lab, for anything, you have everything ready to go. And all you have to do is just fill it in. Does this still say appendices? Oh, I did the wrong one. Sorry. You got to go down to more templates, personal, and then template for report. I'm going to pin it, and then there we go. And you're good to go. Well, thank you all so much for sticking with me. I know at times it could be dry, but I hope it saves you a lot of time in the future. This is, truly a report you could use for the next 4 years. You're all set to go. You may have to add a couple things to the title page here and there. Maybe take out the executive summary. You might delete a table of tables if you don't have any tables. So don't include it in if you don't have anything. Another thing is you don't want this blank page, so you could always delete this here and have these on the same page. Whatever you want to do. Sometimes you'll have to put in a list of variables, but now you have the tools to do it, and I'm so happy for you. Let me know if you create anything really cool. I would love to see. As always, like, share, subscribe and leave any comments. I'll get back to you. Thank you so much.